Just don't talk about the hotels in Starkville because they'll probably start acting like this.
Happy Friday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri, this guy right here. That's Chicken Little, also known as Erik Ruby, also known as Old Dog Legs, also known as Jose Perez. We've got the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. David in the chat, Tanner, Emily, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Rubus, week 2 is upon us.
Yeah, Sun Devils are on a mission, but before we get to that, we're also on a mission here across all of ALLCITY Network to raise $50,000. You heard that right. $50,000 for a fantastic cause. Big brothers, big sisters of America. It's BBBS month here on PHNX and all of ALLCITY. There is a donate button right underneath this live chat, or you could see it if you're watching after the fact. If you do donate during the show, we'll treat it like a super chat. Anything you say after that, we will read on the screen. If you are going to super chat, just hit that donate button. Instead, we would love if that money went to Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America. Help us raise $50,000 for a good cause in the first full month of Sun Devil football. But I think we just got to talk about the big news out of Starkville.
The big news out of Starkville. What's the big news?
Is that they're not mad.
They're not mad.
Write about it in the papers. They're not mad.
Is it the softest fan base that we've seen in some time?
So here's the thing, right? Is that you get people who respond saying, well, if you're from a small town, you would do the same thing. Listen, I don't consume a lot of Barstool content, but I watched Kenny on with their Mississippi State fan, Brandon Walker, and it took him about, 15 seconds to completely diffuse the whole situation because Kenny provided actual context to what he had to say.
Yeah.
I think the most ridiculous thing out of all of this is people are acting like Kenny Dillingham in his press conference went, you know what? And Starkville is the worst place I've ever been to in my entire life. I hate it. They don't have running water. No.
He credited. He was like, it's a great college town.
He literally didn't do any of that, and people are treating it like he said that people who live there are the dumbest people alive, and they're like, well, of course it's a rallying cry. Dude,
I get it though.
Calm down.
I understand it from the Mississippi State standpoint of if you need bulletin board material, it's hard to dislike Kenny Dillingham. In reality, I think it's pretty hard to dislike this Arizona State football team, just in general, if you're an unbiased college football fan. So I get you're going to run and take whatever piece of bulletin board material possible and run with it. Just know that there's a big difference between the bulletin board material of oh, he was talking mess about our hotels, and then some of what I've seen on social media where it's just you know what, Kenny said X, Y, and Z. They're frauds. Sam Leavitt can't hang.
They don't have Cam
Scadaboo to save them. There's a big difference there, and I guarantee you the folks that have been putting out that stuff on social media, calling Arizona State and Sam Leavitt frauds, they've seen that. The team has seen that
for sure.
150%. So there's a big opportunity. There is a big opportunity to do maybe the funniest thing in college football this weekend, aside from Kansas State potentially losing to another random team, and it is blowing out Mississippi State and sending them back to their cheap hotels.
And I certainly think that's on the table. That being said, we have to acknowledge the fact that you got to go back all this up, right?
Yeah.
Arizona State has to walk into Starkville, which, yes, is a loud environment. Kenny Dillingham credited them. Their environment, their fandom said it's amazing, and said there's really no real way to simulate that. You have to go into that hostile environment where they're feeling something for the first time. Like, this is a program that's been absolute dog water for the last couple of years.
Yeah, they've been bad.
Like, listening to that episode where Kenny was on with Brandon Walker, he's like, I haven't he's like, I haven't felt something for Mississippi State football in years. He's like, this is the first time I'm getting that feeling back. Arizona State is now the team that is giving other teams their feeling back.
Yeah.
And this is, and Kenny said it, and I think that, even though this is a bottom of the barrel SEC team, this is a better team than who ASU played last year, and ASU played them at home last year.
Better team than ASU played last week.
Yes, but this is going to be inherently a tougher game for Arizona State than it was last year.
Yeah.
And and Kenny brought this up, like their first true road test of last season, they lost. And even their first road test against Texas State, they had to claw back and snag victory from the jaws of defeat. Mississippi State's an improved team, and they're a good enough team to beat Arizona State tomorrow, because there are big upsets in college football a lot of the time. That being said, if Arizona State does what we say they should do during this episode, it shouldn't even be close. Arizona State needs to walk in with the expectations of blowing this team out, shutting them up, sending them back to their casino hotels, and moving on with their lives as Mississippi State lost their Super Bowl of the season, their blackout game. Like, that's what Arizona State needs to do, and shut up the doubters from week one after the quote-unquote disappointment that was the Northern Arizona University win.
Yeah, Tanner Levin in the chat says, gotta come out with a chip on our shoulder. Go Devils. Parker saying he loves these 12 p.m. start times. Loki, I love 12 p.m. start times as well.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Is Tanner Levitt related to Sam Levitt?
We're not moving the show.
Just Fridays. We just have the Friday 12 p.m.
The Friday's fine.
That's all fine. Unfortunately, Vincent is not going to be able to go
That's
to
tough,
the
Vince.
game anymore. Work got in the way, but kind of agree with Tanner here. If you're Arizona State, you got to come out with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. Obviously, there's some folks talking about how Arizona State, they got their 10 minutes of fame last year with Scat.
Sure.
They got their CFP. They got their Big 12 championship. Whatever, new team, new year, like Short Bus says in the chat. According to Barstool, they've been good for 5 minutes, soon to be 6. If you are Arizona State in this game, you've heard it all, right? Everything that went on last week, everything that happened going into this week with the nonsense from Dilly's presser that got misconstrued, that Mississippi State fan base is running with. You falling in the rankings, despite nearly scoring 40 points and winning by 3 scores, all of it, right? That the offensive line can't hang. They've heard it all. This is your opportunity to go put on a show. And Alan, I think it was, had in the chat that he feels like this is a trap game. I think if you're Arizona State in this particular moment, you have to come out with your hair on fire. And it's something that I had said on Wednesday, where you have to start fast in this game the same way that you started in that first matchup last year against this team. Mississippi State didn't know what hit them last year in the first half of that ball game, and they had an opportunity in the second half to come back, storm back, whatever, still ultimately lost that game. The final score wasn't really a good representation of how the game went. I think when it comes to this opportunity against Mississippi State, week 2, everybody thinks that you're a top 15 team that doesn't deserve where you're at because of the penalties, because you didn't absolutely beat the brakes off of NAU. Well, now you have an even better opportunity to go show it. To show everybody that, hey, great teams can have an off week here or there. And that's what last week was. It was an off week. That's what a win this week against an SEC opponent on the road that's been doing nothing but talking mess all week long. That's what it can do for you. And that can honestly build some confidence back within the team to just say, you know what? Yeah, we know exactly who we are as a program. Mm-hmm. We know that we belong in the top 10 teams in college football. We know that we are of the cream of the crop in the Big 12. It was an off week last week. Sam Leavitt is far from a fraud. Jordan Tyson is one of the best wide receivers in college football. We get that. We understand that. Nothing in this game is going to change the way that we view Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson. But what does need to change, what does need to be apparent, is that this offensive line simply had a bad game against NAU. It was the nerves of a new season for Ben Coleman. It was the nerves of maybe a new position. For the defense, specifically the pass rush and the secondary, they got the best of you in that week 1 game. It won't happen again, right? That is the statement that needs to be put out there for Arizona State tomorrow at 4:30.
Well, when you talk about Mississippi State being an improved team, it starts in the offensive and the defensive line. When they go into the trenches this season versus last season, they are much, 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 much improved. And when you mention a trap game in Starkville, or people, ASU has shown that they can't handle business. They had 1 week. This is a team that is heavily internally motivated. They know that they have a big opportunity ahead of them. And that opportunity goes away if they A, lose, or B, don't take care of business in 2 back-to-back weeks against 2 of the weaker opponents they're going to face all season.
Yeah.
Right? That is what they know that they have to face. And like you said, Totri, they absolutely know that they need to make a statement to prove to the world who they actually are. And I think that more so than the Starkville hate, than people calling Sam Leavitt a fraud, than people hating on Kenny Dillingham, I think what's going to drive this team the most is that internal desire to prove to people that it was not 5 minutes, that they are here. And that for the fan base, who did, a lot of this fan base did kind of freak out after week 1. And I felt like I was in the moment afterwards. And then over this week, it's calmed down. Prove to those people that, hey, that was week 1 nerves, and we also ended up winning by 20.
Yeah.
Right? And Sam Leavitt had 4 touchdowns and over 300 all-purpose yards. Right? Kyson Brown had over 100 all-purpose yards. Erik was a 75-yard house call away from having over 100-something all-purpose yards. Right? There's a lot of room that was left to grow from week 1, but a lot of it is on the table for them. We do have a super chat from Joshua Hutchins saying, run the ball. Kyson and Erik can handle it. #ASU. And to kind of go hand in hand with that, do you know what the weather report is for tomorrow?
It's supposed to rain?
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain.
In the morning, it says.
In the morning, but it's supposed to be 77, cloudy, rainy, with an 84% humidity for the day.
That's what they've been practicing for.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's 92 degrees today, and it's 81 degrees the next day, and sunny. And it is 84% humid, windy, and wet tomorrow in Starkville.
Satan and Satin says, I want to see a heavy dose of Brown, and Udo, attorneys at ball. I love that.
Satan and Satin
that
is
goes
awesome.
so hard.
That does go really, really
Satan
hard.
and Satin, and then Brown, and Udo, attorneys at ball. Back-to-back bangers.
It's next level, man. Look, I think, again, and we'll get into the heat index a little bit later on maybe some individuals for Arizona State that need to have big games or need to be big contributors. I saw somebody earlier that threw out their score prediction. We will get to the score predictions for Arizona State and Mississippi State as well. Haley in the chat says, I've been to a few games in Starkville. It's definitely very loud, but the bells are more annoying than deafening. Certainly no Death Valley or Kyle Field. Yeah, I think, again, that's also something that's been kind of taken on social media is Kenny getting this team ready for the environment, right? And people upset. They're like, oh, you're not going to be able to replicate all the cowbells we have at Mississippi. What
do you want us to do? They're just supposed to not try?
Yeah.
And they're also, the funny thing is people will look at that one video of the assistant, ringing the bell.
Yeah.
He was also, and you can attest to this, playing it over the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
As well. What do you want him to do? Bring out
for the entirety of practice,
bring out an entire SEC crowd for practice to ring cowbells? Again, it's manufactured hate. They need bulletin board material. They just do. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. Arizona State needed bulletin board material going into last year. Nobody believes in us. Every single week, the opposing fan base, the opposing team was like, oh, Cam Skadboo's not going to do that against us. You guys can't do that against us, including this fan base.
Yeah.
By the way. So they need bulletin board material, and they're twisting and turning everything. And it gives inferiority complex. It gives insecure about your team. And it gives, a program that knows that realistically they're going to walk out tomorrow with a loss. Yeah. Now, is it completely off the table that they win? For sure not. Especially if Arizona State plays as sloppy as they did week 1 against NAU. Mississippi State can absolutely get a massive upset victory over the number 12 team in the nation at home tomorrow. But ASU has advantages.
They do.
And ASU has an entire week of practice and film to go off of. And I kind of liked it in blowout NAU because I think it's going to now keep them on their toes a little bit and have that extra attention to detail going into week 2.
Well, you bring up the advantages. This is what we have for our positional breakdown between Arizona State and Mississippi State. Second verse, same as the first. We had Arizona State with every advantage possible against NAU in week 1, and it's a lot of the same here against Mississippi State. You've got Sam Leavitt. I'm taking him over Blake Shapen. I'm taking the stable of running backs in Tempe over what they have at Mississippi State. Jordan Tyson and company are just better wide receivers and tight ends over what they have at Mississippi State, regardless of the status of Jalen Moss. The offensive line is in favor of ASU, especially with some of the injuries that the Bulldogs have up front. The run defense for Arizona State is probably the best in this conference. In terms of the pass rush, despite it not necessarily being what you want it to be, it is still better than what Mississippi State threw out there against Southern Miss in week 1. The DBs, special teams, and coaches are all better for Arizona State than they are at Mississippi State. Yes, there is, the fact that you're on the road, that you're against an SEC team, that Jeff Lebby's got his group, maybe in a better spot this time than they were last year. You've got Shapen, you've got some talent that you didn't have a year ago. But regardless, Arizona State is the clear favorite in this game. They have every advantage possible, despite, again, some of the injuries being a little unknown. The injury status for Max Ahanachor, Jalen Moss, and Justin Watley is still pretty unknown at this point in terms of their availability. If Ahanachor can't go, then expect to see Champ Westbrooks at right tackle for Arizona State. If Jalen Moss can't go, you're probably going to see a lot more 2 tight end sets. You're going to see Jaron Hamilton more in action. You'll probably see Derek Eusebio as well. And then we know if Justin Watley can't go, what that defensive line rotation looks like for Arizona State. Arizona State, though, still more healthy than what Mississippi State is going into this game. If you look at what happened with Mississippi State's offensive line going into week 1, they were without a starting guard, Luke Work, which is just a great name for an offensive lineman. Also missed starting corner, Jet Jefferson. Their status remains unclear going into this week. Starting tackle Blake Steen was also injured in the first half of Mississippi State's season opener and did not return. His status also unclear. Also waiting to see if backup defensive lineman Jameel Burrows is going to be available after not traveling with the team last week. So Mississippi State still dealing with some injuries, definitely more so than the Sun Devils.
So if there was another position group on there or another advantage to give with penalties, you might think it would be ASU. Or you might think that Mississippi State would have the edge. They would not.
They had, 9 penalties against Southern Miss?
They had 14 penalties for 119 yards. That is more than ASU.
That is more than ASU. 14 penalties for 100 and how many?
19.
And they played who? Southern Miss?
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss?
Yeah.
So we might see just the grossest game ever.
We could.
Hope not.
I would be very surprised if we saw Arizona State that sloppy on the mental side of things. I think that's partially why we saw as many penalties as we did, is because there was jitters, there was some nerves, and they were so focused on the actual game that you do kind of slip up on some of those mental aspects.
And again, first game nerves and new positions for people, and honestly, at the same time, and I know that we kind of mentioned this before, but the officiating
wasn't great.
It wasn't great. And now ASU still made mistakes, and it still shouldn't have been that close. And if you're playing NAU and you're talking about the officiating, that's on Arizona State University, the then number 11 team, now number 12 team in the country.
Yeah.
Right. So that's on you. That being said, if you go back and watch that game and watch some of the penalties either not called or called against Arizona State, you do have to wonder, somebody have some line for NAU to cover, because it was kind of egregious at some points. But that's the thing, is at the end of the day, you disappointed against NAU. Can't talk about the refs because it's NAU.
Yeah.
Even if you had all the penalties, ASU still should have won by more.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Joey says, here come the excuses.
No excuses.
We haven't made any excuses for this team. They need to be better. That's 100%.
They were bad week 1.
Yeah, they were.
And watch the post game.
They did not live up to the expectations at all.
It took 50 minutes for us to even bring up the refs. We did for 30 seconds and continued to ream on the
That's
team.
something that they need to fix going into this week. This is not something that you can just go into Starkville, win this game, and all is forgotten. You have to look better from start to finish in this game. Otherwise, they will beat you. They are an SEC team for a reason. They do have a lot of talented players on this roster, despite where they are as a program. Arizona State on the flip end, or flip side, needs to have a couple of players go out there and have some pretty big games. And we will get to the second heat index of the season on the other side of this quick break. Look, if you're an Arizona State fan, which I imagine most of you are, you're looking for some gear that you can rock at maybe some tailgates, maybe some parties, or maybe the game itself. Well, you don't have to look any further than our friends over at Rally House. They're the go-to spot to shop for all your favorite local Arizona team gear with tens of thousands of products to shop from. They got shop locations in Tempe, Mesa, and Glendale today. Now, you may hear that they've got tens of thousands of products, and you're like, there's no way. Well, look, go to rallyhouse.com. Type in your favorite sports team, your favorite local sports team. Say it's the Arizona State Sun Devils. They're going to hit you with hundreds of different pages. Pages full of Arizona State Sun Devil gear, memorabilia, stuff that you can have to deck out your home, your bar, deck out anything. Deck out your wardrobe before you go out to an Arizona State game. Make sure you find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at rallyhouse.com today.
Do you like having fun?
I do.
Genuine question.
I do. I like having fun.
Who doesn't like having fun? Who doesn't like Gila River Resorts and Casinos? I am personally the biggest fan of Wild Horse Pass, but Lone Butte, Vequiva, and Santan Mountain are close behind them as well because every single location has upscale to approachable dining, has a state-of-the-art gaming floor, has a wonderful resort that you can actually relax, whether you want to do a nice little weekend staycation, just have a night out on the town, or go to one of our mini PHNX events that we have out there like 2 weeks ago when we did, or it was a week ago, the PHNX Cardinals residency.
Yeah.
Great food, great people, great service, great live events. I went and saw Shaquilo, a.k.a. Shaq, for the Straight Game podcast out at Wild Horse Pass. There's always something fun going on, whether it's music, whether it's live podcasting, whether it's events, whether it's gaming. They have it all at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you. At Gila River Resorts and Casinos, visit playedgila.com for more information.
Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Again, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I do want to dive straight into our heat index, Parker. We will get to your question here in a second. I don't know off the top of my head what the officiating crew looks like this week, but we shall see. We'll see. Do we have a preference? Do we want an SEC officiating crew? Or we want
Why
Big
would
12?
I want an SEC officiating crew?
Do we want Big 12?
It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
No.
Give me a Big Sky officiating crew.
I mean, give me Pac-12. Anybody? You want a Pac-12 one?
Right.
No?
Heat index.
Heat index. Some players that need to go out there and have some big games for Arizona State here against Mississippi State. Starting up front on the defensive line, CJ Fight. Now, the fire emojis usually tell you how important it is that this individual have a big game. Last week, you saw a lot of ones. We've got some threes here. I got 3 for CJ Fight. The reason I got 3 for CJ Fight, Erik, is we've talked all offseason about him on this defensive line and him raising his NFL draft stock, him proving that he is one of the best defensive linemen in the conference, maybe the country. Well, guess what? This is your only opportunity in the regular season to go to the SEC and to actually play what is considered some of the toughest, strongest trenches that you have in college football. You need, if you're CJ Fight, you need to go out there and prove yourself because this is going to be the only opportunity to do it in the regular season against this competition.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Also, we talked about it the entire offseason as well, is that if CJ Fight's dominant, the rest of the defensive line kind of falls into place afterwards.
Yeah.
And if CJ Fight is beating his man or drawing 2 on the offensive line and making Shapen completely uncomfortable, then Prince Dorba, Clayton Smith, Jacob Kingaika, Zach Swanson, right? These are other players that now have an advantage. And if you're able to make Shapen uncomfortable and take away, either the running element of the game or make him uncomfortable, make him force the ball out of his hands, you're going to force him to also make mistakes, whether that's penalties or whether that's turnovers, whether that's fumbles. Like a lot of the defense, I know that we talk about the secondary and Xavier Alford and X being, probably the best player on this defense at this current moment. And the secondary, despite a poor performance against NAU, being the best comprehensive unit on this defense. You have the defense starting with CJ Fight.
Yeah.
Right? CJ Fight getting to the quarterback, CJ Fight beating his man, and CJ Fight creating advantages has a waterfall effect, a cascading effect to the rest of the defense, especially against this team. You need to be dominant. You need to shut them down. You need to make them uncomfortable because NAU didn't score a lot of points, but you go back and watch that game, they didn't necessarily seem uncomfortable. They were able to get into their offense. They had chunk plays. They moved down the field. And then to give ASU's defense credit, when they needed to step up and get a stop, they did most of the time.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been in that position in the first place, but they handled that position when they were there. CJ Fight needs to make sure that they avoid getting into that position. It's not just on him, but it certainly starts with him.
I'm CJ Fight, I am salivating at this matchup because all I've heard as a Texas kid, right, was that the SEC, as the SEC, they're the king of college football, right? If you want to be good at football, you play in the SEC.
They're the king of the trenches.
Yeah, and guess what? CJ Fight had every opportunity to go to the SEC this offseason. Said, you know what? You didn't want me then? That's fine. I don't want you now. And he stayed put at Arizona State. And now he's got a matchup on the other side where the opposing fan base has been doing nothing but talking crap all week long. And I just read you the injury report from Mississippi State. They might miss a tackle. They might miss a guard. Blake Shapen needs to be uncomfy in this one, and it starts with CJ Fight up front. But on the flip side for Arizona State, offensively getting to the next member of the Heat Index this week, we're going to the backfield, somebody who's familiar with Mississippi, and that is running back Kyson Brown. It's a homecoming for this kid. I mean, no better opportunity than to run wild on a fan base that has said, guess what? You don't have Cam Scattaboo to save you anymore. Well, guess what? Super Sip's in town, and he is here to go over the century mark.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what he can do. You go back and watch some of those runs against NAU. That man was powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. He was also a threat in the
air. He dropped one of the NAU DBs.
Yeah, the first time he touched the ball. You know, you're going to have to use a little bit more power against these SEC teams than you had to against NAU. Even if it's a bottom-of-the-barrel SEC team, you're going to need somebody who's more powerful. I do want to know, though, how close were you to putting Raleek in that spot?
Honestly, if it wasn't for the homecoming, I would have probably put Raleek or Gagne. But I think this Kyson would never tell you, none of the players would tell you that this game, it means a little extra, right?
Sure.
He's gonna
how could it not?
A ton of family members. He's going to have a ton of friends. He's going to they're going to be there to watch him in a place that didn't really recruit him, right? Mm-hmm. That means something to him. He's going to have every opportunity in this one to really make a name for himself because people are going to be watching this game. Look, we got fans in the chat, right, that are from Mississippi State that's saying there's no way you have the running back advantage. And again, I respect those Mississippi State running backs. That's probably one of the closer ones that is equal here. But when we're talking this Arizona State running back room, we talk about the diversity that you have with Kanye Udoh, who didn't get an opportunity really to showcase what he can do here. I think you're going to see him more. I think you're going to see Raleek a little bit more. You're going to see all the running backs a little bit more involved in this offensive attack this week. But ultimately, it starts with Kyson. Yeah. You don't rock the number one on offense or defense if you are not a special player. You saw flashes of it against NAU. You saw bits and pieces in 2024, but guess what? Cam Scattaboo was the guy. And like we started off saying, this fan base at Mississippi State, they don't give two craps who's running the rock for Arizona State. All they know is it's not Cam Scattaboo. Well, guess what? This guy's been behind Cam Scattaboo for several years now, not just the 1 year. You're going to get a taste of it this week against Mississippi State. Kyson Brown needs to have a big week, but that's really all of the running backs. And if all the running backs are going to have a big week, if Sam Leavitt is going to have a big week, if Jordan Tyson is going to have a big week, it starts again in the trenches on the offensive side of the ball. The last member of our Heat Index, the first player that is back-to-back weeks on the Heat Index.
Special.
Ben Coleman. And this time around, Eric, we got 3 fire emojis. Your starting center needs to correct some of the mistakes from last week.
This might be every week.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, there's so much pressure on Ben Coleman. I do not envy him.
Yeah.
I don't. He is in the toughest position on this team. Not only is he following up on an all-conference offensive lineman in Lee Fautanu, who was the lifeblood of that offensive line, but he's also changing positions, and he's doing so very late in his college career, which some people might say, oh, well, he has the experience. Oh, well, hey, he's also played a ton of games at another position And what's muscle memory? What does your brain resort to when the ball is snapped? Like, it's completely different, man. It is completely different. That being said, I have faith in him. I have confidence in him. And I do hope that having a week on film, like we mentioned before, against NAU, which, listen, man, NAU is a well-coached team. Definitely less talented than Mississippi State. One of the better coached teams in the Big Sky, and an incredibly fun team to watch, especially with their defensive schemes and their defensive fronts and how confusing they were. We also know that Mississippi State last year, part of the reason why Cam Scatterbo ran all over them is because they rushed a three-man front.
Yeah.
A majority of the game.
Please do it again.
If they're rushing a three-man front a majority of the game,
run that sorry-ass three-man front again.
I'm pretty sure they did against Southern Miss, which, again, different than ASU. But if they were doing that against Cam Scatterbo last year, right? What makes you think that they won't do that again this year? And Colin in the chat, who is a Mississippi State fan, let me know what you think, because if they rush three and this offensive line has problems, we're going into week 3 having some uncomfortable and difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Right? If they're rushing 3 and Sam Leavitt is pressured like he was against NAU, that's not good. That's not sustainable for the number 12, number 11, hopefully a college football playoff team, right?
Yeah.
Like, that just can't happen. So, big test for Coleman. If he can step up, then you're right. It's the same thing as CJ Fight. Everything cascades afterwards. Sam Leavitt can be comfortable in the pocket. The running backs get a little bit of extra space to use their speed, to use their power. It does all start with that offensive line, and the offensive line does start with Ben Coleman. To talk about the running back advantage real quick, last week, Mississippi State against the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Devon Booth, 16 carries for 80 yards. It's 5 on average for a touchdown, long of 16. Fluff Bothwell, which is a great name, 10 carries, 43 yards, 4.3
USA, by the way.
Huh?
South Alabama freshman last year is a beast. He's good.
And great name, too. But, like, ASU, with the running back advantage and everything, also has pass catchers in that backfield. And I'm just going to pull up the stats really quick for ASU against Northern Arizona. And I don't know. I guess I don't know a lot about Southern Miss, but I would assume NAU is better. Honestly, yeah. I think NAU is a pretty good team. Obviously, you have Sam Leavitt, who's basically a running back. He had 7 for 73 yards, 10.4 per carry. Kyson Brown, 7 for 73 yards, 10.4 per carry. Raleek Brown, 5 for 38, 7.6 per carry, 1 touchdown. Raleek Brown also had 3 for 13 receiving, but that took away a 75-yard house call on a pretty shady holding call. Kyson Brown also had 6 for 72 in the air for 12 yards per average. Kyson Brown had over 140 yards all-purpose of offense, and I think we walked away thinking Raleek Brown might have looked more impressive, despite the lack of yardage last week. And that doesn't even include Kanye Udo, who got 2 carries for 19 yards, right? And he had 1 reception for 6. If you include Sam Leavitt, there's no way that the running back room is close. Even if you don't, I still think ASU has a running back advantage. I'm not trying to discredit Mississippi State, but there's beasts in this ASU running back room.
Let's be completely honest here. Like, we do a good job of giving respect to other teams, other programs. This program doesn't even deserve respect if we're talking Mississippi State.
Hold up. What a 1-2 punch there from Totri.
They're getting respect. They're getting respect because they're in the SEC. This is a team in Mississippi State. This is a football program that has not beaten a Power 4 opponent since October of 2023. Okay?
Sure.
We are in the year 2025. The last time they beat a Power 4 opponent,
September.
Trenton Bourguet was still a college football player, was playing quarterback for Arizona State. The last Power 4 win in October of 2023, they beat Arkansas 7-3. The win before that, they beat the Arizona Wildcats 31-24 in overtime. They haven't done diddly squat in the last 2 years. It's just the truth. So we could sit here, we could talk about the delusional fan base that wants to defend their hotels, that loves their cowbells, that somehow thinks they're going to pull a top 12 win out of their butts on Saturday night. But the reality is, you just don't got it. Like, I'm tired of doing the whole, oh, you got respect, you're SEC, you're this, you're that. You squeaked out a dub over Southern Miss, man. Congratulations. Your win before that, Southern Miss last year. Like, you don't do anything. You're constantly the butt of the joke in the SEC. If they could get rid of you, they probably would. But Ole Miss keeps you around. That's just the fact of the matter, man. It's just the truth. It is what it is. We're going to see what happens on Saturday.
Nobody does it like you, man. No, you're like the setup of, we do a really. I'm gonna put the arm on the stand like you. Hey, can I get the one shot for this? Because this is what he did. And he goes, we've done a really good job of respecting all of our opponents. That being said, you deserve no respect. What a setup. What a punchline. What a delivery there from Anthony Totri. Listen, if you look at, like, statistically speaking, over the last however many years, they don't deserve respect as a football program, and even their own fans would tell you that. That being said, they spent a lot of money. They're supposed to be an improved team this year. It's year 2 under Jeff Lebby. We'll see. Am I confident that ASU will beat the crap out of them? Yes. Is it possible that Mississippi State wins tomorrow? Yes. It's way more possible than I think NAU winning. Right? That being said, I'm not worried about it. I think they're going to be fine, and we can keep talking about it right after our second break.
Look, I want to take some time to actually give somebody that deserves some respect the respect, and that is our friends over at Circle K. Look, they're trying to help you save money every single day, literally every single day. They're trying to help you save money with their free membership program. It's called Inner Circle. Just go to the App Store, download the app, enter your email and phone number, and that's it. That's all you got to do to be a member of Inner Circle. So what are some of the benefits, some of the rewards? Well, when you're an Inner Circle member, for your first 5 fill-ups, you guys can save 25 cents per gallon. And then every single day after that, if you want to fill up, top off the car at Circle K, well, you could save 3 to 5 cents per gallon as well. Not to mention, they've got these little things called Inner Circle Fuel Days that aren't so little. Eric, you guys can save up to 40 cents per gallon when Circle K tells you that it's an Inner Circle Fuel Day. Again, get started. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
Save 10 cents off per gallon this morning with Circle K.
Love it.
Thank you. And if you're saving money, why not save money with a trusted local credit union here in Mountain America Credit Union? So trusted that they're a proud sponsor of Arizona State University. Heard of it? If you're in Starkville, maybe. Take your finances to new heights with guidance from Mountain America and visit Mountain America Stadium next weekend at home for ASU beating Texas State. Calling it now. Plus, Mountain America puts their money where their mouth is. Donate $250. They will to support university athletics for every field goal made. They're providing $20,000 in scholarships to local student athletes each year, and they sponsor a shoe donation program to award brand new shoes to community members in need. Learn more at macu.com/ASU, and they're dedicated to guiding members and communities forward. Insured by NCUA. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans are on approved credit.
Nah, Parker B saying, I don't want peace. Screw peace, man. They got upset about hotels, man. And they didn't even have the context of what Dilly had to say. And, like, I think there is realistically a handful. And when I say a handful, I mean a literal handful of Mississippi State fans that genuinely believe tomorrow night is going to go in their favor. I'm looking at a tweet from a Mississippi State fan right now that says, quote, being a Mississippi State fan is for sickos only. We won 2 games last year, and if you ask any of us, we're all pretty certain we're going to beat a top 10 opponent Saturday because we played a good half against USM and are wearing cool uniforms. Like, where does the logic come here of, like, they're going to win?
That's college football. That's what you love about college football.
It's just wild,
I'm a huge fan of that statement. You know what I'm not a huge fan of?
Tell me.
They have no continuity. Like, they had 34 incoming transfers.
Mississippi State? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're big on the power of friendship.
Yeah, big on the power of friendship and Blake Shapen.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping
But
for.
it's also like it's early in the season for them, too. Like, and it's their first home game. You don't think they're going to have some nerves and some jitters and everything? I mean, their fan base is putting some pretty crazy expectations.
They had a pretty damn good recruiting class, though.
That's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-stars. That's impressive.
Sure, I don't think Mississippi State's going to be trash forever, but I do think that
history tells you otherwise.
And I think they'll be
No.
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be better this year than they were last year. And you're on the road, which means it's going to be a harder game. And in the second half, Mississippi State didn't make it a tough game for you. That being said, ASU has too many weapons, too well coached, too much continuity to walk away from this without a win. Like, that's just the facts, right? It was the same thing against NAU. It's the same thing against Mississippi State. It'll be the same thing against Texas State. There should not be a team that even challenges ASU realistically until they play Baylor week 1 of Big 12 play.
Well, let's get into our score predictions for the second game of the season. Let us know in the comments what you have that final score being tomorrow between Arizona State and Mississippi State. Rubus, let's see what you got for the score prediction this week. Wow, we're pretty similar, man.
Pretty close. Give me 37-17 with 7 of those points for Mississippi State coming when the second unit is in for ASU when they are up 37-10 with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Ring those cowbells all the way back home and
back to the barn.
Yeah, eat that 20-point loss. I think somebody just died in our office.
Tough. Somebody dropped the cowbell.
Do we have a Mississippi State fan back there?
It's tough.
What about you? We're close.
I got 30-17. Yeah, I think this one is maybe just a little bit closer offensively. I see the Sun Devils still finding a way to score 30 points. I'm with you in terms of the backups coming in for ASU and Mississippi State, maybe getting some garbage time points in that one. I could see this one being a 30-10 ball game, a 30-7 ball game throughout the majority of this second half before ASU maybe mixes swap at quarterback and some of the depth guys, letting those backups maybe eat a little bit. But ultimately, I think this is going to be a statement game for ASU. And by statement, I mean time of possession. I think we're going to look at the end of this game on Saturday, and we're going to be like, yeah, Mississippi State didn't stand a chance because Arizona State had the ball for 40 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think when Arizona State scores, it's going to be explosive plays, but it is going to feel like death by 1,000 cuts. With Kyson Brown, with Raleek Brown, with Kanye Udoh, with Sam Leavitt using his legs as well. I think
with Jesus Gomez using his legs.
A hefty chunk from these running backs. Some of the other scores that we have in the chat, Seth saying 31-13. Haley has a blowout, 42-17. Sharon, 36-24 in favor of Arizona State. Glenn says, how do we get to 37?
3 field goals and
a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a random number for you guys to both settle on.
Well, I had 30, so I figure you get 3 touchdowns in that one, and then you get 3 field goals. Like
I have 4 touchdowns, 3 field goals.
Yeah.
So it's,
nothing great. What do you have, Shane?
I have a gross game. I have like 24-13.
That is gross.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I mean, it's going to be muggy. I still don't think ASU is going to be playing like close to their best.
Yeah.
I think the defense is going to be on fire, though.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's got to be.
David's I think they got to have a more convincing win than that, though.
Joshua says 34-13, maybe 41-17. Cody with a big one here, 59-14 in favor of the Devils.
I don't know if they're putting up 59 points.
Be awesome.
Here's what I'll say, guys. I love you guys, and I love ASU fans. You are still going on the road in SEC country. Like, you're still doing that. It doesn't matter how soft and how down this school has been. SEC fans are different. They are not Pac-12 fans. They are not Big 12 fans. At the end of the day,
the fans aren't playing the game.
I know, but they contribute a hell of a lot to the environment.
They are, but they contribute a whole hell of a lot less if you're down 14-0.
Yeah, I know, but who's to say? Like, ASU started off pretty hot against NAU, and then they fizzled out. If they don't get a hot start, they're going to be in the game. Like you just have to wait and see, because you handled Mississippi State last year. It was an easy W. You were at home.
Yeah.
You have not beaten an
also,
SEC
the player
team on
that
the
was
road.
the best player on the field for them is no longer on their team.
For Mississippi State.
Still, you're going to do something you've never done. You have to win an SEC country. You've never done that before.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's true. They've never done that before.
For everybody who calls me the hall monitor, I mean, come on. What are we doing here? I'm kidding.
Well, I don't. Well, actually, I'm just saying.
Sherpa says you've been reading his diary a little bit too much.
I will say this is something funny. They're pointing it out in the chat. ESPN tabs Xavier Guillory as one of the main players that needs to step up for Arizona State against Mississippi State. Now, I will say this. This is Greg McElroy, who it was very nice when we met him in Frisco and jumped on the Wildcat show and everything, but on Always College Football, I haven't had a chance to listen, but multiple people confirming in the chat, be sending the time code in Discord, that he tabs Malik McClain and Xavier Guillory. And even one of the comments says, I can guarantee nobody on Mississippi State is covering Xavier Guillory. This is the number 12 team in the country, folks.
We're talking about a guy that hasn't been here now in months. That is out of eligibility. That was with the Baltimore Ravens in preseason football.
And by the way, this team has already played a game. And do you want to know who got 0 snaps for the Arizona State Sun Devils against NAU?
0 snaps in college football.
Xavier Guillory. Would love to have him on the team,
a big
but
game.
like,
yeah,
man.
I mean, I'd love it if he had a big game against Mississippi State this week. That'd be huge, man.
That's just, yeah. I mean, that is just
that's something.
Tough. Yeah.
It's up on their YouTube.
Also, Xavier Guillory doesn't play for Arizona State anymore. Come on, ESPN. You black out our game and then can't even get our roster right.
Glenn says if ASU scores 50, Mustachio is going to shave an eyebrow. Is that true at all?
No,
not true.
Absolutely
whatsoever. Not. Just wanted to throw that out there just to see. Is there a point total at all? No. Yeah, I figured a hundo. If they score 100 points versus Mississippi State.
No, you want to know
who's
ASU
100 scores 180 points. I'll shave everything.
I thought you were gonna dye your hair for the sake of our men's league team. We need you. Did you not say that you're gonna dye your hair blonde?
I don't know why you're bringing that up right now.
I'm just saying.
Just wants to throw that out there, man. Getting into some of the other games that we have on the Big 12 slate this week. Not as many that I would say you can point to, or actually flip that. I would say far more games this week that are more intriguing than we had in week 1.
Is there a dying whale?
There's something. Do you guys hear that?
No, I don't think I can hear it.
Okay.
It's a drill of some kind.
Sorry if you could hear the dying whale in the background.
It's a drill of some kind, I think.
First, we get the door installed in the middle of the show.
I think it's just you guys need to do a better job of ignoring.
I was literally ignoring it. You guys brought it up.
No, he brought it up. I was looking.
I was chilling. When I'm in the zone, just shut up and let me work, gentlemen.
Yeah. Hey, don't say gentlemen. I didn't do anything.
Gosh. Okay, Ruby.
We need to get better as a team going into tomorrow. All right.
We need to go to a break first, actually.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry.
Fine. We'll get into the Big 12 slate.
I'm sorry.
After our final break. Look, the Sun Devils on the road this week, of course, in Starkville, if you haven't heard. But they're back at home week 3, taking on Texas State. And if you guys are looking to go to the game, well, don't look any further for tickets than Game Time. They're going to hook you up. Look, they give the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few short taps. We've both used Game Time for a number of sporting events, for concerts, comedy shows, and Rubus, we can both attest to this. The deals feel like they get better as you wait. It's the perfect place for tickets if you're a procrastinator. And with college football officially back, why not get in on the action with our friends over at Game Time? Be the reason that Arizona State continues an undefeated streak at Mountain America Stadium. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Create an account, redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Today is a rare occasion. Not wearing a hat. But
True.
I can make you a damn promise. Tomorrow I'm wearing a Branded Bills hat, and most days I'm wearing Branded Bills hat because I like gear that makes my brand stand apart from the crowd. Of course, PHNX having a collab with Branded Bills, and also Arizona State University, and also the Phoenix Suns. It's like they're trying to get me to wear their hats. Oh wait, they don't even have to try because they're so comfortable, they're so well made, there's so many different styles, and I love them dearly. They have partnerships across 40 different universities, including ASU. Like I mentioned, they partner with the Suns. They're a local company out of Mesa, Arizona. And whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitted beanies, or tees, they have you covered with performance and style. And for your own brand, you can get it customized as well. All you have to do is head to brandedbills.com. Use code BBPHNX. That's BBPHNX at brandedbills.com for 15% off your first order.
Oso and Bravo in the chat saying I just logged on here, so not sure what the predictions were, but ASU going to trounce Mississippi State 48-17. I think we would all be pretty happy with that one. Ruby, the Deli Band, and I all had Arizona State coming out on top against the Bulldogs tomorrow night. Of course, we will have a pregame show and a postgame show. Not to mention, if you're somebody that loves everything as it relates to the Big 12, we're going to have our Big 12 Week 2 reactions up on the YouTube hopefully really early Sunday morning for everybody to watch that as well.
And it's $36 to become a diehard today until Monday. Go to gophnx.com/join. Become a diehard for much, much, much cheaper. Get access to our diehard Discord, which is always on fire, but especially on game days as well. Scan that code on the screen. You get access to all the articles on our website, an ad-free experience, exclusive content, a free shirt or hat when you sign up, discounts to all of our events. So much goes into being a diehard. We love our diehards, and we think our diehards love us, especially this ASU community has grown so much over the last couple of years. So come be a part of it, especially for $36. That's $3 a month for a year.
It's a cup of coffee.
I mean, that's so easy.
It's literally cheaper than this.
So you want to do the Big 12 scoreboard thing right now, right? You guys want to go over the game?
Go over the Big 12 scoreboard.
Sorry.
Can't do that?
Yeah, we have to actually get to 30 likes before we do that.
Wow.
So we're 13 away. So
I
if
mean,
only we had enough people.
We do have 70 plus people in the chat today.
So
which
we're just gonna sit here awkwardly talk about, like, I don't know, what's your favorite type of sock? Big crew sock?
Type of sock?
Yeah, like crew sock or like no show sock.
I hate
fuzzy sock.
I used to be a no-show sock kind of guy, but not anymore.
I mean, I look, I'm a big dress sock guy.
Dress sock.
Yeah, I like dress socks.
Why? They're so thin.
Well,
you
buy better
get better
dress.
Yeah,
I've got literally a collection of dress socks, but I don't wear them anymore here. It's not weird. It was in TV, and I had to wear dress socks all the time, man.
Fair, yeah.
Like, come on now. Weird. Shut up, Erik. Got 23 likes.
Yeah,
23 likes.
7 more likes until we
Come
can
on,
talk
guys.
about the Big 12, guys.
24. Let's just get a couple more. Sean saying driving to Stark Vegas, listening in the sticks. Let's see what else we got here. Desert says mismatch socks. I feel like that's a big Shane move.
Well, it has to be like mismatched. Well, first of all, it has to be intentional. Because if you just have mismatched socks because they didn't do laundry, do your laundry. Don't be lazy. But like it has to be cool. Like
cool mismatch
socks. Like you have to be wearing like one is space and one is like cookies.
Space Cookies?
Space Cookies.
Space Cookies is a great band name.
Yeah, it is.
What's the genre of music for Space Cookies?
Like EDM metal.
Okay. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
What? 27 likes.
Yeah,
3 more. We get into the Big
likes.
12 slate,
I'm a big,
guys. 28. 2 more. That's all we need.
Who do you think's favored by more points? Oregon against Oklahoma State or Colorado at home against Delaware?
Who's favored by more points?
Oregon.
Yeah, 28 points. But Colorado's favored by 24.
I mean, it's Delaware.
Yeah, but I think U of A is only favored by like 14 against Weber State.
Really?
Yeah.
It's tough. Well, we hit 30.
I might be lying.
Let's talk about the Big 12
Could be totally
slate.
lying.
Let's start.
That'd be a crazy lie.
Let's start with Iowa versus Iowa State. Got a rivalry game here in week 2. Big game, I think, for both teams here. Iowa looking to prove that they are the best team in this state, and Iowa State, I mean, starting off the year 3-0 with wins over their rival, Iowa getting a big win week 0 against Kansas State. I think this would be a game where it's like, okay, Iowa State's for real.
As of right now, Iowa State has been playing like the best team in the Big 12.
Yeah.
They're not ranked the
number
highest,
1 in both our power
but,
rankings.
Yeah, but they're 16. They're number 1 in our power rankings. A win over Iowa is always good for an in-state rivalry, and the fact that it's happening, so early in the year is always so fun. That game is on Fox. It's a big game. Iowa State is going to need to step up, but I certainly think that they have the offense to do so. I believe Iowa State and Arizona State are the 2 best teams in the Big 12.
We think Iowa State gets this one done?
I think so.
I would agree. Moving on to maybe the next best game, maybe the best game in this conference all week long. You got Baylor versus number 17 SMU. This feels like a game that Baylor, it's weird to go into week 2 and say it's a must win, but given what we saw in week 1 against Auburn, we knew they had a tough non-con schedule.
Very.
Starting the year 0-2 would be a very bad look for Dave Aranda's Bears.
Guess the line in this game.
At SMU?
Yep.
I'm going to say SMU's favored by 4.5.
Minus 2.5.
Yep, that's the line.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It is low. This is a big measuring stick for Baylor. I don't know if like a loss is the end of the world, but playing Auburn, you lost by 14 points against Auburn. Some pretty clear weaknesses. You got ran all over by their mobile quarterback. SMU's the 17th best team in the country as of right now. SMU was a college football playoff team last year. Like SMU is a good program, and Baylor starting off 0-2 does hurt the conference championship odds, but these are tough games as well. Baylor needs to at least compete.
You got to win tough games, man.
You do. It's a big measuring stick for them. If they win tomorrow, that's a really good sign for Baylor.
It is. Moving on, Kent State versus Texas Tech. Feel like we all feel like we don't need to worry too much about the power of friendship here.
Golden Flash is 1-0 after beating Merrimack 21-17.
That was their first win in
2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the games, 18 games.
Yeah, they beat the Merrimack Warriors by 4.
Do we think they get it done here? Do we think they get the win over Texas Tech?
And by the way, DeRealis Clark returned a 100-yard kickoff.
DeRealis Clark
returned a 100-yard kickoff for Kent State, and that is why they ended up being able to
get
outpower the Merrimack Warriors.
Give me the Red Raiders.
Yeah, okay. I think Texas Tech's going to win 60-0 again.
Let's just move over to Arizona Weber State right now because I've been looking for these odds forever. I can't find them that are real. At least I'm on OddsShark right now. It says that the line is 32.5 for Arizona, but it also says their predicted score is Weber State 31, Arizona 8.
That can't
they have
right.
Weber State winning?
That's got to be flipped.
Yes.
That's got to be wrong.
I mean, if Arizona doesn't beat the crap out of Weber State, then last week wasn't real.
It says
they
the
also
predicted
beat
score
Hawaii last week.
That's what I'm saying. But Weber State's got to be worse than Hawaii, right?
In theory,
yeah. It has to be.
In theory, they've got to be.
So silly.
Yeah, if you're Arizona, you have to win that game.
Have to.
Again, it is Weber State. I did see they lost their starting tight end, I think, for the season.
Where is Weber State?
Duh, Texas. I'm not stupid. That's a little callback there for those who know.
Weeb, Missouri? I don't know.
It's in Utah.
Really?
I found this. For forever, I thought it was an East Coast school. I found that out recently. Yeah.
Glenn says Phil Steele picked Weber State.
There's no way Phil Steele picked
Weber
Weber State.
Go,
that would juice me up.
Oh my gosh.
I miss talking about Phil Steele.
I do not. Oklahoma State versus
Phil
Oregon.
my heart.
Gundy and Lanning have been going back and forth like schoolgirls all week long.
Oregon's gonna beat the crap.
Yeah,
out of
I think Oregon is gonna take the Cowboys to town. This one could get ugly. Although when Dan Lanning was the DC at Texas, I want to say Oklahoma State got the better of him. When Texas was the number 17 in the country.
Dan Lanning tried to fight him.
Yeah, afterwards.
They hate each other.
These two do not like each other.
Screw playing the game.
I want
those two go out.
I want to see these two slap box.
What are the odds in that fight, UFC fight?
Gundy is favored in that one.
Oh, Lanning's so much younger.
Yeah, but Gundy's...
Dude,
I showed you earlier in the week.
Gundy's gonna pull a gun.
Gundy at his press conference this week had his shirt up.
Yeah, Gundy's got the crazy. Well, I don't know. Dan Lanning's got the crazy too.
Gundy is minus 350.
I think I'm
I
taking
don't think
Lanning.
he's that much.
I'm taking Lanning. I think Gundy comes out firing and then he gets winded and Lanning is just methodical and beats the crap out of him.
Can we put a poll in the chat?
No,
who wins that fight?
I'm not doing that.
Gundy or Lanning?
Yeah.
I think Gundy is favored minus 175 in this one. I don't think it's a crazy...
I would put my money on Lanning.
You want to bet?
I wouldn't.
I mean,
I don't know. We
can't
can't make this happen.
Lanning feels like he's never had calluses.
Yeah. If this goes
I think
championship
we're
rounds,
overrating how good of a fighter Mike Gundy is.
I don't think we are.
I think if this goes championship
Gundy's a
rounds,
man,
I'm
and
taking Lanning.
Gundy's a man, and he was 40.
Yeah. I'm taking Gundy.
Lanning out to now it's 50-50.
Gundy if it's a fist fight, give me Lanning if it's a football fight, which is exactly what we're going to see this weekend. I'm taking the Ducks. Kansas versus Missouri. Another very
This is a banger.
This is the most important.
Game.
I think this is the most important game
for the
conference, even beyond Baylor SMU, because Kansas being 2-0 right now against Fresno State and whatever the hell
Portland
Wagner.
State, I think.
Nope, Wagner,
Wagner,
the Seahawks. Right. Which is Shane's favorite team, the Wagner Seahawks, that is. They're on the road against Missouri. This is a really big test for them. If they win, and if they win convincingly, Kansas is here to play for real.
Yeah?
Just like they should have been last year.
They should have been. Very interesting and important question to the Gundy-Lanning fight. Is alcohol involved?
For Gundy, I don't think there's any event where alcohol's not involved.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair, man.
Don't you have a class to teach?
I do have a class to teach, but we're chilling. We're rocking. We're rolling here. Yeah, this is an important game, Kansas, Missouri. I think Missouri gets this one done, but I think it's going to be a close one. You don't think so? You're going with old Jalen Daniels here?
I like him, dude. Lance Leopold's my dad. Let's go.
Who wins in a fight? Shane
Is
or
it Lance Leipold? I'm pretty sure it's Lance Leipold.
You should know how to pronounce your dad's name.
I think it's Leopold.
I don't think it's Leopold, man.
Chat, give me a frenetic.
Bowling Green versus Cincinnati. Nobody's watching this one.
No.
Right?
Drew Pine, by the way, the quarterback for Bowling Green.
The fact that this man is still playing football is remarkable.
Who has a better game, Drew Pine or Brendan Sorsby? By the way, Pine on the season, 109 yards. Sorsby, not too great. 96 yards on the ground, though.
And a touchdown. Two touchdowns on the ground for Sorsby. Ripped running back, Sorsby.
That's enough for Bowling Green, Cincinnati.
West Virginia versus Ohio. We'll
talk about this in overtime. If you're watching on TV, the party always continues over at gophnx.com.
This feels like the battle of states here. West Virginia, Ohio. Like, they're not going to play on the football field. This is going to be
you skipped Delaware, Colorado.
Well, hold on.
We'll get there. We can still get there. The chat doesn't know that I skipped Delaware, Colorado.
Here's the breaking news. Totri beat me in a pronunciation off. First time ever.
It's Leipold. Yeah. Let's go. That's big for the program, man.
It's no surprise that Shane would favor a Leopold over a Leipold.
Wow.
That was good.
Shane just shaking his head, man.
That was good.
Shane just shaking his head. That was good. Wow, he didn't even get you. What are you doing, man?
I'm getting in the shot.
What were we talking about? West Virginia, Ohio. West Virginia should win this one.
Go Mac.
In theory, they need to get this dub. There were a lot of West Virginia and Cincinnati fans that were in the Big 12 reaction video we did after week 1 that were talking about us like we just glossed over their teams. So West Virginia with a big opportunity to
beat Ohio,
to beat Ohio and get some love from us
action
on over the weekend, man.
Yeah,
I think they can get it done.
Can't wait to spend 45 seconds talking about that game just to make them mad.
Delaware versus the Buffs.
Give me Delaware.
Give you Delaware.
Colorado's going to win. You'll be watching their quarterback situation and their coaching situation.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Army versus Kansas State. Who's ready for to support our troops?
Army's trash.
Support our troops.
Army's really bad at football this year.
Support
Kansas State better beat the crap out of them. This is football.
Yeah, but we said they should have beat the crap out of North Dakota. They didn't.
I know.
You think they're going to beat the crap out of the troops?
I said they have to.
They definitely don't have the intensity that our troops have.
No, although I do think that.
Give me our troops. Give me our troops. I'm taking the troops, man.
What about Cal Poly, Utah? The Dieffenbach.
The Dieffenbach Bowl?
I don't like that.
What do you like about the Dieffenbach Bowl?
I thought you said I didn't think you said Dieffenbach Bowl. I thought you said something else.
Give me Utah, man.
I'm gonna take Utah.
Unfortunately, we're taking Utah.
But I think Ty Dieffenbach has a big game.
You're just doing that.
Big game.
Yeah. Houston versus Rice. Houston.
North Carolina A&T versus UCF.
This is a big one for UCF, man. I've dubbed them the worst Power 4 team in the country. Don't lose to a team that I thought was sponsored by AT&T going into this one. You got to win this game, and you got to win it handedly. No Jacksonville State nonsense like you had last week. Weber State versus Arizona. We already talked about it. Stanford versus BYU. BYU, this one feels like a very interesting game. I know
-21.5.
They dominated week 1. Stanford had a rough game against Hawaii in week 0. I don't know what Stanford did last week. I think they lost.
They're still 1-0, I think.
Are they?
Yeah, they're 0-1.
They're 0-1. Yeah, they lost again in Hawaii. This could be an interesting game for Andrew Luck's Stanford Cardinal.
Shut up, Tony.
Versus BYU.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
I don't know if you're talking to me or you're talking to that Tony, but we'll see. Again, pregame show tomorrow. Going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun. I say that now because I imagine some of you are going to jump off the show here because you don't want to be a part of Hot or Not, but this is something that we do every Friday. That's not going to change.
Did you forget?
No, I didn't forget.
Okay.
I just wanted to remind everybody we got a pregame show tomorrow. But without further ado, it is time for Hot or Not. Daily Man, what do we got on the menu today?
Just a whole flurry of things. We got football back.
Hot.
So, duh.
Spicy.
I posed this question yesterday on Southwest Bias, but the new kickoff, hot or not, in the NFL?
The new kickoff that it starts, that you do a touchback and you get to the 35-yard line?
No, the new kickoff, like how it's a new...
Oh, just how it's been?
Yeah, the last 2 years.
I don't like it.
Yeah?
I don't like it. I get why you do it for, like, safety reasons. At this point, like, just remove the kickoff. If we're going to continue to change it, I don't think this is probably the last format that we're going to see. But I like the old kickoff. I understand why you didn't do it or why you changed from it. This one's just boring to me. It's not hot.
But here's my argument there is that the old kickoff was the most boring because kickers got so good that it was only touchbacks.
Yeah.
So why is that?
Move it back.
That's fair.
Yeah. if you're gonna change it.
Yeah, like we completely remodeled the format when we could have just been like, let's move it 15 yards back.
If you move it 15 yards back, then they're going to start with the ball on the 30.
Well, you could just move the kicker back and still keep the line the way that they were.
Man, you're smart.
Like,
I like it hot for his idea.
like we could have. There were more than one way that we could have. Like, again, I understand the health, like the safety reasons, but it's football, man. Like, people are gonna get hurt. It's just how it works. Be bigger, faster, stronger, take better angles. Probably won't get hurt. But that's just my 2 cents on what we got for kickoff currently.
So it's a soft, not hot. Now that I've heard his idea, I'm like, yeah, I need that in my life.
You need the other version of it in your life.
I need you to take over for Roger.
College football is always just a couple years behind the league when it comes to rules. So I imagine you'll see a changed kickoff format in college football pretty soon. What do we got second on the menu?
The Wildcat formation.
Ooh, hot. I love the Wildcat formation.
Did you see, this isn't Wildcat, but did you see the Utah orbit counter run they've been running? It's disgusting. They have a wide receiver orbit motion.
Counter orbit.
Well, see, so they have a wide receiver
Great band.
orbit, like orbit motion behind the shotgun. With it's just a single back shotgun, and the running back, instead of taking the handoff, runs forward, and the wide receiver that's in motion takes the handoff behind the running back that's moving forward.
And the running back's the lead blocker?
And the running back's the lead blocker, but it's a counter, so he goes the other way. It's pretty disgusting.
So they're going the count. So if he's coming from the left side of the formation, we're running to the right, and the line and the running back.
No, in this case, he did run left, but he stops behind the. So he's not really moving. He doesn't have any momentum really. It's pretty great.
Also,
I love that.
The Sparky formation.
Yeah. The Wild Scat.
The Wild Scat. The Sparky.
It's a great formation. It will always be a fun
terrible
formation.
name, great formation.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, can we just agree that nobody has done it better than Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams back in the day?
Yeah.
The Dolphins, like by far and away.
Final hot or not topic: nacho helmets.
Nacho helmets.
Yeah.
What's a nacho helmet?
Like you get the nachos in the helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's super hot, dude. It's super hot. I just love nachos.
Yeah,
so like
nachos.
I don't know,
care.
dude. You're like anti-fun because you didn't like the foam
Wow.
fingers. So I don't know. Maybe
Wow.
you wouldn't
Foam
like
fingers
this.
are not even in the same
Foam fingers are dumb.
tier of nacho helmets. Dude.
So
Let's get back onto this again.
You want to hear a crazy take? Last week on Throwdown Thursday on Southwest Bias, one of my topics was what is the best food at a movie theater? And like the clear answer is popcorn.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring up the thing that Derek discussed with nachos. Ask Derek where he got that idea from.
Oh my God, no way.
I like nachos at a movie.
That's insane.
I don't dislike nachos in a movie, but popcorn is the best. Like that's not even a
nachos
Popcorn's
at a
fine.
movie
I'm just
theater
like I don't like.
is legitimately the craziest thing.
Why
to me.
is it crazy?
It's not crazy.
Because you're eating like gooey cheese in the dark.
That kind of sounds sick.
That doesn't sound
It
sick.
sounds like
Watching
a
a
great
movie.
time.
Like what's wrong with it? It's like it's the perfect balance of like a meal and a snack. Whereas I feel like first off, popcorn gone before the movie even starts.
No.
Second of all, so I'm still hungry. I'm not gonna get up and go get another snack. That's not gonna happen because I look like a fat ass getting back in line.
So he pulls the gooey cheese out of
I
his
pull
pocket.
the gooey, give me nachos every day of the week, especially if you got like those cheap jalapenos on
Dude.
top of it. Like I'm taking that every day that ends in Y. Derek got that idea for me.
You're so dirty. Your hands are so dirty, and you can't see anything.
Yeah, what's wrong with napkins, man? Are you blind? Also, you got a big ass TV screen.
That you should
You're not sitting in like a
it's
sensory
not like you're
room.
sitting in a
No,
closet, dude.
That's not my point, though. My point is you're focusing on the nachos and not the movie.
How hard
It's
do
not
you
that
think
hard to
when
eat
you're eating
nachos,
nachos?
bro.
You're going to get nacho goo all over your
This
shit.
sounds like a specific Shane Dieffenbach
Yeah, did you have a bad
No,
experience
because
with
I've
nachos?
never thought of trying it because it's stupid.
Well,
Try it.
so you've never done it.
Yeah.
No.
No, you were giving me so much crap
You can say
years
shit.
ago
We're in
about
overtime.
butter and toast because I never tried
No,
it.
this is a different thing because I've seen that happen before. I know the experience.
I need you to. You don't know the experience if you've never
never
had the
experienced it.
experience.
I've eaten nachos and watched something before. And
But
I
have
know,
you done it at the movie?
no, I haven't. Okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
Very good. Good stuff.
Parker, you cannot tell me I can't multitask. You know what I'm doing right now?
Probably making a graphic for another show later
Jack
on
Wagon.
today.
Sorry, that was so
Wow,
mean.
jeez,
Dude,
man.
Dark Shane is
Calm
out in
down.
full effect.
Dark Shane eating gooey cheese.
It was Darth Shane. It wasn't Dark Shane.
Darth Shane.
Darth
eating
Shane.
goo. No?
No, Bees, I didn't spill nacho cheese on my shirt at the movie theater. Stop it.
I'm not mad. Don't write about it in the papers.
What's the final score of the Gundy poll?
It is with 25 votes, 56% say Gundy, 44% say Lanning.
Yeah, I'm taking Gundy.
That's
you
fine.
said you're taking Gundy.
I'm fine with Gundy
Lanning.
being the favorite. I'm putting my money on Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I think Lanning wins if it goes championship
You know
rounds.
how out of shape my Gundy has to be? One punch to the liver, that guy is on the ground.
But he's also, dude coaches. Dude has lived in
but
Stillwater,
you think,
Oklahoma for 20 plus
Dan Lanning's
years.
not a psychopath? I think Dan Lanning's a psychopath.
I think he's a pampered psychopath.
Yeah.
Sure, but he's still a psychopath.
Like, Mike Gundy probably does some
We gotta
illegal
ask Kenny.
stuff.
I like
Yeah.
Sharon still on this, that you've never had butter on toast. Yeah, have you never eaten
I have.
breakfast?
I've done it. I've done it.
It's amazing.
It's fine.
it's great.
All right, we're getting out of here. Totri, where can everyone follow the show?
Guys, if you enjoyed today's content, or if you're
Wasn't that
looking
just
forward
two hot or not
to,
topics?
no, that was 3. Nacho helmets, Wildcat.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
There you go,
My
buddy.
bad.
We
my
got
bad.
there.
Not
Just-
hot.
just
My attention
Follow
span.
the program at PHNX_Sun Devils on social. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow the man always betting on Dan Lanning at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You can follow the deli man who hates cheesy goo at Shane Deef.
Glenn, phrasing as always.
And we will see you guys for a pregame show tomorrow at 4 o'clock, 30 minutes before kickoff right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. In the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.